basically, I can't breathe because of this corset, and I'm wearing really tall heels that were making it very hard to move around just now. Just a warning, if you do watch the bloopers at the very end, I am talking at a normal volume, so it might scare you a little bit, because it's not me whispering. Just a warning, okay? So, hi, do you guys like my outfit? It's killing me, I can barely breathe. No, it's fine, it's just like very tight. Like I can't slump. That's what it looks like if I try to slump my body. It's so funny, look. So this is how I feel like I should be sitting, like this. And then if I like relax my body, watch what happens. The corset stays in place. And it like doesn't allow you to fully relax. But I do like sitting like this better. Ah, this is nice and relaxing.
Gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick close-up of what I look like because I really like my makeup. I don't know. Let me know if you think I should start doing these up closer, or if you like this the way that I've set it up where it's far away. I thought people would like enjoy seeing my outfits and stuff like that, and like I started off wearing pajamas in this series, so like showing my full body makes it feel more cozy because I like to really relax on this chair. I don't know. Let me know what you think. People probably do enjoy ASMR when it's really up close, but I like the setting of like almost like I'm reading to a group of like reading to an audience. Okay, I'm getting really meta, but like not thinking about YouTube at all. It's almost like I'm reading to an audience up in a chair, and like everybody's watching me. Okay. Weird. Does this make any sense? I'll show you. Okay. I've never had heels this tall, and it freaking hurts. Like, angle that my foot is having to go into. It's so unnatural. Ouch. Okay, I've shown you my feet enough. Gosh, I better have a wiki feet by now. I also have an OnlyFans. Lots of content coming out on there this month. I'm being a lot more active on there because I need the money. I just got a house, and I'm feeling a lot happier and getting through my horrible PTSD symptoms I've had this year. Getting a lot better. So when I feel better, I tend to make more content, and lots of it, and better of it too. So yeah, check that out in my link tree in the description. Alright, let's get right into this book, guys. It looks like we're starting a new chapter. It's called If Not, Not. Number 1. What I Look Like Naked. When I woke up in my sleeping bag, the rain had stopped and my bed was empty, the sheets stripped. I looked at my watch. It was 10:03. It was also August 30th, which meant that there were only 10 days left until school started, a month until I turned 15, and only 3 years left until I was supposed to leave for college to start my life, which, at this point, did not seem very likely. For this and other reasons, my stomach ached. I looked across the hall into Bert's room. Uncle Julian was asleep with his glasses on, Volume 2 of The Destruction of the European Jews open on his chest. Bert received the box set as a gift from a cousin of my mother's who lives in Paris, and who took an interest in him after we met her for tea at her hotel. She told us that her husband had fought in the resistance, and Bert stopped trying to construct a house out of the sugar cubes to say, "Resisting who?" In the bathroom, I took off my t-shirt and underwear, stood on the toilet, and stared at myself in the mirror. I tried to think of 5 adjectives to describe what I looked like, and one was scrawny, and another was my ears stick out. I considered a nose ring. When I raised my arms over my head, my chest became concave. Number 2, my mother looks right through me. Downstairs, my mother was in her kimono reading the newspaper in the sunlight. "Did anyone call for me?" I asked. "Fine, thank you, and how are you?" she said. But I didn't say, "How are you?" You shouldn't have to always be polite with your family. Why not? It would be better if people just said what they meant. You mean you don't care how I am? I glared at her. Fine, thank you, how are you? I said. Fine, thank you, said my mother. Did anyone call? For instance, anyone? Has something happened between you and Misha? No, I said, opening the refrigerator and examining some wilted celery. I dropped an English muffin into the toaster, and my mother turned to the page of the newspaper, scanning the headlines. I wondered if she'd even notice if I let it burn to a black crisp. The history of love starts when Alma is 10, right? I said. My mother looked up and nodded. Well, how old is she when it ends? It's hard to say. There are so many Almas in the book. How old is the oldest? Not very. Maybe 20. So the book ends when Alma is only 20. In a way, but it's more complicated than that. She isn't even mentioned in some chapters, and the whole sense of time and history in the book is very loose. But there's no Alma in any of the chapters older than 20. No, said my mother. I guess not. I made a mental note that if Alma Mereminsky was a real person, Livanov most likely fell in love with her when they were both 10, and then 20. And that 20 was probably how old they were when she left for America, which must have been the last time he saw her. Why else would the book end when she was still so young? I ate the English muffin with peanut butter standing up in front of the toaster. Alma, my mother said. What? Come give me a hug, she said. So I did, even though I didn't feel like it. How did you get so tall? I shrugged, hoping she wouldn't go on. I'm going to the library, I told her, which was a lie. But by the way she was looking at me, I knew she hadn't really heard, since it wasn't me she saw. Number 3. All the lies I've ever told will come back to me one day. On the street, I passed Herman Cooper sitting on his front stoop. He'd been in Maine all summer, where he'd gotten a tan and his driver's license. He asked me if I wanted to go for a ride sometime. I could have reminded him of the rumor he spread about me when I was 6, involving being adopted and Puerto Rican, or the one he spread about me when I was 10, involving me lifting my skirt in his basement and showing him everything. Instead, I told him that I got carsick. I went back to 31 Chambers Street again, this time to find out if there were any marriage records for Alma Mereminsky. The same man with black glasses was sitting behind the desk in room 103. Hi, I said. He looked up. Miss Rabbit Meat, how are you? Fine, thank you, how are you? I said. Okay, I guess. He turned the page of a magazine and added, a little tired, you know, and I think I might be getting a cold. And this morning I woke up and my cat had puked, which wouldn't be so bad if she hadn't done it on my shoe. Oh, I said. On top of which, I just found out that they're cutting off my cable because I happen to be a little late paying the bill, which means I'm going to miss all of my shows. Plus the plant my mother gave me for Christmas is going a little brown, and if it dies, I'll never hear the end of it. I waited in case he was going to continue, but he didn't, so I said, maybe she got married. Oh, Alma Mereminsky. He closed the magazine and looked at me. You don't know if your own great-grandmother got married? I considered my options. She wasn't really my great-grandmother, I said. I thought you said, we're actually not even related, I said. He looked confused and a little upset. Sorry, it's a long story, I said, and part of me wanted him to ask me why I was looking for her, so I could He licked his finger, turned the page, and took another note. The wedding would have been civic or a priest, or any chance maybe was a rabbi married her. Probably a rabbi, I said. That's what I thought, he said. He opened a drawer and took out a roll of lifesavers. Mint. I shook my head. Take, he said, so I took one. He popped a mint into his mouth and sucked on it. She came from Poland, maybe. How did you know? Easy, he said. With such a name. He rolled the mint from one side of his mouth to the other. It's possible she came 39, 40 before the war. She would have been. He licked his finger and flipped back a page, then took out a calculator and punched the buttons with the eraser of his pencil. 19, 20. Most I'd give her is 21. He wrote these numbers down on his pad. He tutted his tongue and shook his head. Must have been lonely, poor thing. He glanced up at me with a questioning look. His eyes were pale and watery. I guess so, I said. Sure she would have, he said. Who does she know? Nobody. Except for maybe a cousin who doesn't want to know from her. He lives in America now, the big mucker. What does he need with his refugee? His boy speaks English without an accent. He'll be someday a rich lawyer. The last thing he needs is his Miss Bokek from Poland, skinny like the dead, knocking at his door. It didn't seem like a good idea to say anything, so I didn't. Maybe she is lucky once. Twice he invites her for Shabbos, and his wife grumbles because they don't even have for themselves what to eat. She has to beg the butcher to give her again on credit a chicken. This is the last time, she tells her husband. Give a pig a chair, and he'll want to get on the table, which is not even to mention that back in Poland, the murderers are killing her family. Every last one. May they rest in peace, from my mouth to God's ear. I didn't know what to say, but he seemed to be waiting, so I said, It must have been terrible. That's what I'm telling you, he said, and then he tutted his tongue again and said, Poor thing, was a Goldfarb, Arthur Goldfarb, someone, the grandniece I think it was, came in a couple days ago. A doctor, she had a picture, handsome fellow, was a bad shidduch. Turns out he got divorced after a year. Would have been perfect for your Alma. He crunched on the mint and wiped his nose with a handkerchief. My wife tells me it's no talent to be a matchmaker for the dead. So I tell her if you always drink vinegar, you don't know anything sweeter exists. He got up from his chair. Wait here, please. When he came back, he was out of breath. He pulled himself back up into his stool. Like searching for gold, so hard to find was this Alma. Did you? What? Find her? Of course I found her. What kind of clerk am I that I can't find a nice girl? Alma Maraminsky, here she is. Married in Brooklyn in 1942 to Mordecai Moritz. Wedding performed by a Rabbi Greenberg. Lists also the parents' names. This is really her. Who else? Alma Maraminsky. Right here says she was born in Poland. He was born in Brooklyn, but the parents were from Odessa. Says here his father owned a dress factory, so she didn't do so bad. To be honest, I'm relieved. Maybe it was a nice wedding. In those days would break a light bulb under his foot, the Shazam, because no one could spare a glass. Number 5. There are no payphones in the Arctic. I found a payphone and called home. Uncle Julian answered. Did anyone call for me? I asked. I don't think so. Sorry I woke you last night, Al. It's okay. I'm glad we had that little talk. Yeah, I said, hoping he wouldn't bring up becoming a painter again. What do you say we go out for dinner tonight? Unless you have other plans. I don't, I said. I hung up and called information. What bureau? Brooklyn. What listing? Moritz. First name is Alma. Business or residence? Residence. I have nothing under that listing. What about Mordecai Moritz? No. Well, how about in Manhattan? I have a Mordecai Moritz on 52nd. You do? I said. I couldn't believe it. Hold on for the number. Wait, I said. I need the address. 44 East 52nd, the woman said. I wrote it down on my palm and got a subway uptown. Number 6. I knock and she answers. Okay. my gosh. Okay. It's coming together, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna stop there for today. It's starting to come together. It's starting to get really good. I almost couldn't believe that what I was reading was true, that she actually opens the door and it's her. But I read ahead and I think it is. This is weird though. It's hard to understand the timeline of this book. Just like she's describing how it's hard to understand the history of love's timeline. The actual, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, what's going on? Oh, that looks funny. That's okay. Gosh. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I have a lot of videos that should be coming out soon. Hair dye videos and other videos. I'm finishing up my moving process. I still need to unpack like a lot of my house, but I'm less stressed more recently, so I think it'll all come together very soon. It's coming together. You see my wall? Look how beautiful. I wish you could see this painting better. It's like a Renaissance painting of two people in love, and they're just like looking at each other in awe. I love it so much. And then this one, yeah, you can see that one. It's two birds loving on each other. I love it so much. And then bow to the queen, Jenna Marbles. Okay, seriously. And then if you know whose castle this is, then you're a straight up gangster, and we can relate. Okay. And then this, my friend Sandra drew this and gave this to me. I think it might have been from a coloring book, but we won't talk about that. And then I found that @ sign at my job, and then I thought it'd be cute to put it right next to my heart. Okay, make sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy this video, and if you like my outfit, and hit that notification bell if you want to see when I come out with more videos, especially the ASMR ones. If you like this, if you made it this far in this video, come on, dude, you gotta hit the notification bell for me, please. And with that, subscribe to my channel, please. It would mean the world to me. Just go right down there. Just it's subscribe really quick. It's free. Okay, it takes a few seconds and it's free. Okay, you support me for nothing. I mean, come on, that's great. It's starting to get really hard to whisper. If you didn't know, it's hard to whisper for a long amount of time, and it takes a lot of energy. My gosh. Also, check out my other content. I have a lot of content that is not doing well in the YouTube algorithm. My shorts, they do okay. Some of them do really well. Some of them do not at all. Check those out. And then all of my long form content does terrible. There's like a very few couple that do okay in the algorithm, but I don't know, y'all. Help me share this video. If you know other people who like ASMR, share this. Maybe go to a Reddit page if you're active on Reddit and share my YouTube channel on there and say, she does good ASMR. I don't know. I'm not very active on Reddit. I don't understand it very much. I should, because I make OnlyFans stuff, but I just can't seem to connect with it. Same with Twitter and TikTok. I have a boomer head, and I need to work on that. Okay, whatever you're doing, have a good day, good night, good evening. Bye, guys. My channel is sponsored by a website called Wildflower Sex. For the rest of this ad read, I'm going to say sax, like saxophone, instead of the word that I need to say. Gosh, I'm exhausted, you guys. Why does it take so long to get pretty? I don't think it takes long. I just like to take my time with it. And then I'm exhausted and infuriated and frustrated and okay, I gotta stand up in these heels. Okay, I did it. Okay. Alright. You know what it is? It's the corset. I can't breathe. How's the lighting? I can't tell and I don't want to move anymore. Oh, God, corsets are terrible. Oh, this isn't ASMR, oh no. Okay. Breathe. Whew. Lord, man. Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Hey. Okay. Okay, now that I've covered up my freaking underwear, can you guys see? I can't see it in the camera, but do you see how long those are? My gosh, you could take an eye out with these things. I hope this works. As me just holding it. I don't know, this feels a lot different, but it's so much better than going like this the whole time and having to. This isn't even a step for a mic. This is my original tripod to put my camera into that I've hooked my mic into somehow. Because my mic stand totally broke. The one that came with this mic, so let's hope this works, you guys. I didn't start reading this until 12 minutes. I started filming this 12 minutes ago and I just started. Wow. See how annoying it is to get ready. Oh my gosh. I like filming videos where I don't have to do anything but get dressed and then start. My goodness, this took forever. Okay. And I planned to film multiple videos today. Yeah, freaking right. It's almost 4 p.m. already. Jeez Louise. Okay. I just ran ahead. Okay.